Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do my Tarot Collection 2020 video. We have a lot, so I suggest you grab a snack or something to hold you up for like the next hour or two. I'm gonna try to not make it 2 hours though, but we're gonna do like the bigger boxes first and then go towards the little ones. It's not going to be in any particular like favoritism order, but I'm just going to do the huge boxes first just to get those out of the way. So let's get to it. Here is the Everyday Witch Tarot. It's one of those that comes in a classic box, and it has a colored book. This is what the back of the deck looks like. I haven't edged mine yet, but this is one of the first tarot decks that I got when I first started getting back into tarot. And it's really easy to read. It's an RWS clone. It is a Llewellyn deck as well, so I'm sure you guys are familiar with the cardstock that they have currently. It's not the best, but it shuffles really good. Oh, this one's huge. Next is the Enchanted Love Tarot. This one is kind of, well, it's not kind of, it is a pip deck, but it has keywords in it. There's no ribbon, so this kind of sucks trying to open. It is a colored book as well. What was I saying? Oh, so it is a pip deck, but it has keywords. So if you're into decks with keywords in them, that's one of the main reasons why I got this deck, is because it had the keywords in it. I was aware that it was a pip deck, but I'm like, it has keywords though. So that's why I chose to get this deck. I use it a lot in love readings, or I use it as what do I call it? The theme, kind of like the theme of the reading. Like I would shuffle this deck, pull a card. For example, if this came out, this would be the theme. So passion would be the theme of the reading that I'd be doing at that time. And they have different colored borders for the suits as well as the major arcana. It feels really nice. It's a nice matte. Did I show you guys the back? I'm pretty sure you saw. This is the back. But yeah, I like it. I know it's a pip deck, but you know what? It's got keywords, and that's why I wanted to get it. Also for love readings, of course. Now we got the Mystical Manga Tarot. Another clasp box here. I think this is a colored book as well. Yep. Colored book. I am not going to edge this one just because the backings have like already a clear border. This one, I love the colors in here. It's just, it looks really nice. It looks like manga pretty much. The colors are really vibrant. It's another RWS clone, which you'll see a lot of my decks are. So it's really easy to read with. Recommended for beginners and if you like manga. Now we have the Steampunk Tarot. Another one of your classic clasp boxes. I think I edged this one. This is a huge book, by the way. It's not colored. Pretty sure I edged this one. Yes, I did. These are the backs. I edged mine in a gunmetal gray. Oh, by the way, I did the lighting a bit different, as you guys can tell, so hopefully you like it. It's more chill lighting. It's not super bright in your face, so hopefully y'all like that in this video. This one is, it is an RWS clone, so to speak, but I think some of the images in here, a beginner might find it confusing, so I'm not sure if I'd be comfortable calling this a beginner deck. I mean, unless you go all out with like reading the book and all that stuff, then yeah, of course it could be a beginner beginner deck if you do that. Now we got the Witch's Tarot. Tell me that doesn't look like an older Scarlett Johansson, doesn't it? Just a little. This is a huge book. Highly recommend the book though. It's really informative. It's black and white, but it's a really good book. It's a really good book. These are the backs. I etched mine in, I think I used my holographic India ink. But you can see some glitters in there. This is an RWS clone, so again, highly recommend for beginners. If you are looking into learning the tarot. This one was technically this one was actually my second tarot deck that I ever owned. The first one was my Gothic tarot, which we'll see as well. But when I started buying, oops, where did that ribbon go? When I started buying tarot cards, this one was the second one that I bought for myself / owned. Next is the Anne Stokes Necronomicon Tarot. This one has a very interesting book. For one, it opens this way, right? But I like that. If you guys are into H.P. Lovecraft, then you are gonna love this deck and the stories that they have in this book as well. Pretty cool. Oh, I did edge mine already. These are the backs. I edged mine in black. I don't think I would dub this as a beginner deck though. Again, some of the images you might be like, what? So maybe intermediate, but still an all-around pretty sweet deck. And I think each of the suits also have their own theme, which is explained in the book as well. Next we have Forest of Enchantment Tarot. This is like a super green deck. All around earthy vibes. I think it is, yep, it's just a colored book. This is cool though, because the full page is the freaking image on the card. These are the backs. I etched mine in a forest green with some shimmer in it. Isn't that cool? Ooh. And again, look at that. It's so green. It's so earthy. Earth tone vibes right here. Oh, and they switched the suits. So that's one reason why I wouldn't dub this as beginner, because of switching the suits might get confusing. You got boons, you got visions. Like even I have trouble trying to remember, like, wait, what is what? Who, what? But aside from that, it's a really nice deck. It's like very fairy tale-y. Does that make sense? I know that's not a word. Totally not a word. Next we have the Angel Tarot, which I don't know if there's 78. There's 72 cards in here, which is cool. That's cool. It's still, oh my god, is this upside down? It's the Angel Tarot. Okay. It did come with like an inside casing to hold the cards, but I don't know if I forgot why I took it out. I think it just looked, oh, see, there you go. So I clearly removed it. I took it out for a reason. I forgot what it was though. This is the inside of the book. This is the book, is what I'm trying to say. All about angels. These are the backs. It's not foiled, but it has like that weird illusion as if it is. The cards did come kind of, I don't know if you guys can see, it's a little bowed or crooked. That's how the cards came. So I tried like bending them back or straight, but it ain't working. I'm just gonna leave it. But these are pretty cool because they have the tarot card it's associated with, the name of the angel, the number associated with the angel, the meaning of the angel's name. So this one, I can't even say that. Behuila, I think, means the exalted God. You have the image of the angel, an incantation, or what the angel is about. Their sigils and glyphs, I think, is what they're called down here. And they each have their own, so they're all different. The sigils, ooh, that's upside down. But yeah, so I just thought, you know, this is a pretty cool deck to do that for. I use it for, obviously, angel energy readings. I use it for my shadow/light readings. Oh my God, is this card dirty? What is this? Oh, okay. But yeah, that was the Angel Tarot. Next is the Shadowland Tarot. This is a freaking heavy ass box. This has no ribbon, so you gotta pull the book out ever so carefully. It's a colored book as well. Pretty informative for the cards themselves. Here are the cards. I can take them all out. I might just like get rid of this box too. Probably. Here, let me move this. Get some table room. These are the backs. They're super yellow, as you can see. Gold gilded. I'm not a fan of this type of gold gilding. I very much like the glittery gilding that I'll show you in my other decks. And this one also came crooked or bowed, however you want to call it. Again, I've tried bending it the other way to straightening it out, but it's not working, so. But this is it's a pretty cute deck. I mean, I would recommend it if your kid or young teen is wanting to learn tarot. I think this would be a nice deck for them to start out with. Along with the Happy Tarot, like it's just within those vibes, you know? And I do feel that this is like an RWS clone too. It's not hard to read. It's pretty easy to understand. And I forgot what book these drawings remind me of. I can't think of it. Darn it. But I'm sure you guys know there's like certain books that us 80s babies, or maybe even 90s babies, grew up with that this artwork just reminds me of. I just can't think of it. For the life of me, I can't. But yeah, this is the Shadowland Tarot. Next we have the Mermaid Tarot. I love mermaids. Mermaids are my shit. I think this is a huge book too. Pretty heavy. Oh, it is colored and it covers the full page, which I love. I don't think I edged this one. No, I haven't. These are the backs. Again, your typical Llewellyn cardstock, so it's pretty crappy, but it shuffles like a dream. And it's all about mermaids. And you got sea creatures up in here too. I'm sorry about having reverse cards in here. I do read reversible, so that's why you got some reversed cards popping up. Another RWS clone, so this is a pretty good deck for a beginner. Ooh, look at all that lava. I don't know if I have a flip through on this one yet. Not right now, at least, I don't think. I'm pretty sure like 80% of the decks I'm gonna show you guys in this video already have a flip through on them. Next is the Shadowscapes Tarot. This is another Llewellyn deck, so it's the same cardstock. It's a black and white book. I have not edged this one. I'm not sure if I am gonna. This This is the back. I mean, I might, like with a nice lavender, maybe? But look at this artwork though. There's like so much going on. I kind of wish that I had, I think there's like a version where the cards are bigger, and I really wish I was able to get that version. Because I feel like these cards being so small like this takes away from, you know, everything that's in there. Like, look at that, there's so much in there. It's so pretty. There's just so much going on. I would not recommend this one for beginners though. It's too, at least I feel, coming from someone who used to be a beginner, I feel like it'd be too much going on in the card. Maybe intermediate to expert level, but beginner, not yet, not yet. Oh, this one's heavy. This is the Alchemical Visions Tarot. This is, I think this is the heaviest tarot deck that I have. Oh, I need a, there's no ribbon on this one. Here, let me pop them out. And the cards are huge. These are also the hugest cards that I have. The book is pretty much the size of the cards. It's a black and white book. It says a lot about what's going on within the card too. I have not read it though. I have not read all of it, just like skimmed. Ugh, these are the backs. They're glossy, so these be slipping everywhere, just FYI. I'll pick some of them up. But you have the title on the bottom. And I think some of these might have numbers. Yeah, the major kind of have the numbers on the top, but it's hard to see because of the image. Takes away from it, but yeah, these are huge. And I feel like it's, some of the cards are like 50-50 when it comes to black and white and color in the drawings or images. There's a lot going on though in all of the cards. I need to read with this deck. Oh, Hanged Man. I need to, I'll probably like use this to pull a card a day because, you know, it's so huge. Okay, can you imagine trying to shuffle this deck? Or if you pulled it out in a reading, what the customer would think if they've never seen a deck this huge? That would be hilarious. Next is the Ghoulish Scarps Terror Tarot. Unfortunately, this is only a major arcana deck. I really wish the creator made a full deck. This is a rose petal box. This does have a little ribbon in it. It's a really tiny good book, guidebook. Again, because it's just a major arcana, and it is colored. These are a rose petal finish and they're edged black. I didn't edge them, that's how they came. It's a pretty rose petal finish. Look at these backings. And I do have a flip through on this one. Man, I really wish the creator made a full deck. I would so get the full deck. Oh, this is velvety soft too. Next is the Mystic Dreamer Tarot. I don't think I've edged this one either. It's a black and white book. Your typical Llewellyn cardstock, so it's pretty caca, but it shuffles very nicely. And you got that like old looking aged borders, which I love. Looks like old treasure maps. This one is also in our WJS clone. Although I will say that a lot of people I can see not being a fan of the art. I'm kind of like in between as well, but Next is the Revelations Tarot. This deck is pretty cool because the cards themselves, oh, black and white book. The cards themselves have reversible images. It's the back. I kind of hate the white border though. Here, let me see if I can find a good one. Well, here, this one. 7 of Pentacles, so you got this image. Comes out reverse, guess what? You got that image. Isn't that cool? That's like the main thing that drew me to getting this deck, is the fact that the images are reversible. If you look closely, see, even the angel's face is different. And aside from like the bright colors too, I thought that was really interesting. I think the only ones that aren't reversibles are the aces. I don't remember because it's been about a month since I used the deck. Next is the Tarot of Vampires or Vampires. Oh, this is a fat book. It's black and white, talks all about vampires and your, what do they call them? Guild, cult, whatever group of vampires you might be in or something like that. There's no pictures though. Kind of sad about that. I did edge mine already. This is the back. And I edged mine in a blood red. I like the borders on this one though. This looks pretty cool. How I would describe this deck, it's kind of like, it gives me Twilight vampire vibes. Which, not gonna lie, I kind of hate how they made the Twilight vampires. I'm not a fan of those types of vampires. But I do like the whole gothic feel of the deck, which was my main selling point to wanting to buy it. Whoa. That's the Hermit. Jesus Christ. It's the Hermit is dragon bones. Why? Where are you going? Alright, so we're moving on to the smaller sized decks, sort of. I think I got all of the huge ones already, or like the super huge ones. This is 8 Coins Tattoo Tarot. If I can open it. There we go. I believe I edged mine. Yes, I did. This is the book, and it comes with one of these fold-out spreadsheet things. This is a thick-ass book, but it's colored, which is pretty cool. This is the back, plain and simple, reversible. Oh Lord, is that a chip? What? And I wish those white borders weren't there. This is kind of tacky. But yeah, it's pretty much what it is. It's a tattoo art-based tarot deck. I love the cardstock. I think this is from US Games. It smells and feels like US Games cardstock, which I love. The colors are really vibrant. It's kind of like the back in the day tattoo art style, which had very vibrant, solid, poppin' colors. It's fairly easy to use, to be honest. I can see this as being a beginner deck, but I can also see some, like a beginner getting somewhat confused, just slightly. But it's an overall pretty easy deck to use and read with. Next we have the Curio Tarot, which came in this lovely wooden box. And it also came with a yes or no tarot coin. There's no ribbon in here. I still have to add one to pop the deck out a bit easier. Ooh, this is what the box looks like. Oh, I still have to edge it. These are the backs. This one, what drew me to this deck is again the gothic feel and vibes from it. All of the characters in here, the figures have like skulls on their face. And it's just really grungy looking, which I like. Oh God, the cards have that wooden box smell. It smells kind of gross. I'm just getting it right now. Oh, and like the brightest cards in here are the aces. They have like the most brightest colors. See, look at this. Ace of Wands. Super bright. Yeah, I really need to edge it. Look at those edges. This is a project that I gotta do. Good thing I reminded myself I'm gonna set this deck aside to work on it. Next is the Gilded Tarot Royale. I think, how do you open? This one opens weird. Has your typical white book. These are the backs, and I edged mine in a shimmery blue, sort of. And the artwork pretty much covers the whole card, which is one of the reasons why I got the deck. I love when decks do that. Art takes up the whole card, and the titles don't take up much of the card either. This is also a RWS clone, so it's fairly easy to read with and use and understand. And it also keeps the suits like their original name: pentacles, swords, wands, cups. So next is this little guy. I think it's called the Tarot Nova. I got this in a, what was it called? It was like some sort of spiritual packet or something, because it had like palmistry stuff in it, tarot stuff in it, and other stuff in it. But it was part of a set. These are the backs. And it still smells like the incense, because I kept this in my witchcraft chest for almost 20 years, so it has a strong scent of incense that I also kept in that chest. It's a very simplified deck too. All of these suits and major arcana are color coded, as you can see up top here. So they have they have their own color coding or color coded corners. But the imagery in here is very simple. Simple and direct, I guess. Next is the AE Wyatt Tarot, which is, ooh, holographic. I don't use this one as much because I edged it with alcohol ink. It comes with the thin white book. And because it's alcohol ink, your own sweat can smear alcohol inks, and it ends up smearing on my hands, so I just stopped using it, unfortunately. I might buy another copy and edge it with India ink so that it doesn't smear, but it's really nice. It's your typical RWS OG sort of artwork, so it's really easy to use, beginner friendly for sure, and it's holographic. All right, now we're moving on to the smaller decks instead of those huge ones. Let's see. I have so much to choose from. Here, let's do this one. This one is the Moonlight Tarot. It came in this velvety bag with no book. It's longer than your usual tarot size. I etched mine as well. These are the backs. It's a matte finish too. Some of the cards do feel a bit pippish. Just a little bit. So it's kind of like a mixture, I guess. So because of that, I don't know if I would recommend this for beginners. I mean, unless you're trying to learn pip decks, then, you know, you do you, honey boo boo child. But, oh, see, look, this poor Ten of Wands. Poor fox. I wish they did more with the star. The star is one of my favorite cards. It's the death card and the star card, which I'm gonna get tattooed on me at one point, but from another artist or another tarot deck, I mean. But I really wish the star card was just done a bit better or had more. Next is the Mibramig Magical Tarot. If you guys have been following me, ew, what was that crack in my voice? If you've been following me for a while, y'all know I love me some animal decks, so I'm gonna have a few of those. This is a really interesting deck. These are the backs. They're not reversible, unfortunately. I just don't look at it while I shuffle so that I don't know that it's a reversed card. And I just love how the artist makes all the animals look. They look really curious and, I don't know, interesting. Like, they all got some big ass heads and presumably bodies of humans, because they don't have animal hands. They have, see, that's not, what is that, a bunny? Those aren't bunny boobies. Those are human boobies. You know what I mean? So it's an interesting deck. It's also an RWS clone, so I do recommend it for beginners, for my beginners out there. Oh, look at this fool card. Look at that little dog. So yeah, if you're a beginner, if you like animal decks, then I recommend this one. Next is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Look at that. Gold. I like gold. This one is also a RWS. Oh, it does come with the book, but I honestly threw it out because it was kind of caca. So, but it's pretty much straight, like, direct. It's an RWS clone. Straight to the point, you know. I don't think you really need the white book that comes with it. But look at that. Ooh, look at that gold foiling. That's so pretty. Look at that. Oh yeah, I was catching the light from my Christmassy lights. Oh, am I blinding you? I'm sorry. My bad. I'm just trying to show you the goldness in there. But yeah, it's an RWS clone, so it's fairly easy to read with. This is another deck that I recommend for beginners. It gives, like I said, straight to the point readings as well. I kind of wish that the images went, like, it was just the full card instead of having the borders. And don't say, well, you should just trim it. I'm scared. I don't trim my decks. I etch them. That's the most you'll see me do with my decks, but nah, I can't trim them. Here, let's do this one. The Chrysalis Tarot. This one, y'all, is colorful as shit. And the backings, here you could see where, I wish they had that lip, or actually no, that thumb area, but it's not in there. So it's a bit hard to open. It comes with the white book. These are the backs. Look how colorful that is. The colors aren't popping as much because of the lighting, the chill lighting that I have today. I will say though, the suits are switched. So you have mirrors, scrolls, stones, I think swords. Oh no, the swords here are the scrolls. What else? Oh, spirals. Spirals is another one. If I can find a spiral to show you, just take my word for it. Spirals. Spirals are wands, okay. Here we go. Page of spirals. And then if you notice on the cards, like the stones all have green tones, the scrolls all have fuchsia, violet tones. The wands obviously have red, orangey tones, and the cups have blue tones in them, which I thought was pretty cool. The cardstock is sturdy as heck. I will say that. But yeah, this is, I would say that this is more intermediate to expert. I wouldn't call this a beginner-friendly deck. Next is Sawyer's Path, the Tarot Journey by Jamie Sawyer. This one doesn't come with a book, but I believe you can download it via her Etsy. These are some nice backings too. The colors are really vibrant. The cardstock, it's flimsy, but it feels, I don't know, it has this weird like silky smoothness to it. It's not like the flimsiest cardstock either. It's not like those Llewellyn cardstocks, you know. But these colors though, and the wands, I love. See, look at these wands. Look at those wands. They each have their own crystal on it. How cool is that? A really vibrant, colorful deck. It's just the image. There's no names or even numbers on them, which I kind of like too. I mean, see, look at this death card. Isn't that pretty? Look at that sunset or sunrise. Yeah, really vibrant deck. Next is the Erotic Fantasy Tarot. There is nudity in here, so avert your eyes. Avert your eyes. Just keep watching, but don't look. I'm just playing. You do what you want to do. These are the backs. Really pretty. And to get another one of those whose images take up the whole card, which I love. This very much gives me like strong warrior Xena vibes, you know what I mean? I don't know, just like strong, kick your ass, feminine energy, which I love, you know? And it's also, oh my God, those bunnies be making bunnies. It's also an RWS clone. I do feel it does read pretty well, pretty direct. So I would see this as a, oh, I love this. She has 2 different wings. How cool is that? I do see this as a beginner deck because it's, you know, a pretty good RWS clone. Next is the Muse Tarot. This is a super colorful deck. Look at that box. Comes with a thick white book. These are the backs. The cardstock is really sturdy as well. And again, these colors are super vibrant. The suits have been changed. They have emotions, materials. Emotions is the cups, materials is pentacles, voices are the swords, and I think passion is the Wands, if I find a passion card. Oh, Inspiration. Here we go. Inspiration are the Wands. And then you have some of the cards that are like this. The Muses. All of the Muses are in this way. Why can't I say horizontal? Look at this star card. It's so pretty. But yeah, it's really colorful. It's that sort of collage-y art as well. Not beginner friendly, I wouldn't say. Next is the traditional manga tarot. In another tuck box, is that what you call them? Comes with your typical white book. These are the backs, which make me think of Rorschach tests, doesn't it? And it's one of those who, again, the image takes up the whole card, which I love. You got the titles on the bottom. And the way the artist adds the glow of light in everything and anything in this deck is really cool. It's an RWS clone as well, so I do feel it would be easy to read with. If you're a beginner and you're looking for a deck to use, this is another one that I recommend. It's very different from, oh, what was the other one called? The manga tarot that I had. So it's different art style for sure. Love it. Next is Archangel Power Tarot cards by Radley Valentine, not that Doreen lady. I was gonna say something else, but nope. Comes with a big ass book. These are the backs, not reversible, but that's okay. This is huge, by the way. It's a huge deck. And it's one of those that have little phrases on the bottom, which I feel like help you out in a reading too. You don't want to fully, like me personally. All right, what happened was, how I use this deck, I wouldn't use it entirely as its own in a reading. I'd probably use 1 or 2 cards within a reading and then use a regular tarot deck. But I feel like the phrases that are on the bottom do add to a reading and also help you out too when you're trying to get the words out. You know, because sometimes words are hard, guys, right? Am I right? Words are hard sometimes. But yeah, and they each have, all the suits and major arcana have their own color. Not a fan of the colors they chose. Kind of gross, but you know, that's me. And because it's glossy, it's a bit difficult to shuffle. I mean, I'm sure once I wear it in more, it's gonna be fine, right? Next is the Joie de Vivre, or Vivre Tarot. Where is the thing? Oh, here it is. I wish they had, damn, I'm gonna have to like cut my own thumb entrance there. I don't wanna like rip the box. Is that like all US game boxes? Because this is by UF Games. Comes with the white book. These are the backs. And artwork is by Paulina Cassidy, which I really like. It gives me James and the Giant Peach vibes. I don't know. I wouldn't say Tim Burton vibes either, but something in here kind of also gives me those vibes. Like, especially this guy, the magician. Really interesting artwork. I don't know if I'd recommend this for beginner though. It might confuse you just a little bit because there's a lot going on in the artwork too. Oh, look at this bunny. Next is the Star Child Tarot, which came with the book like this. It's not colored. It's a nice rose petal box. And it's normal tarot size. It's not huge like the Moonchild, which I'll show you in a bit. See this gold gilding? This is the one that I like. It's like that smooth, glittery gold gilding. These are the backs. It's a nice matte finish. This one has a lot of violet tones, cool and violet tones in it. A lot of like galaxy vibes too. Cardstock is sturdy as heck, so that can make it a bit difficult to shuffle. Next is the Moonchild Tarot. Again, a nice velvety soft box. These cards are like oracle size. Comes with a huge book. This one is colored, very informative as well. And it also has that glittery gold gilding. And the back of it also has gold, what would you call it? Embossing? Or gold foil detail in the back. There you go. And these have more earthy tones in them. This feels more earthy to me. We also see a lot of more like desert area in here as well. It's also a matte cardstock, and it's the same sturdy cardstock as the Star Child Tarot, so it's also a bit difficult to shuffle because it's such a thick cardstock. Next is the Tarot of the Divine. I love this deck. I use this one in past life readings a lot because of the fact that it has inspirations from around the world. But when I do my past life readings with this deck, because I'm not familiar with all of the artwork yet, I do reference the book to see possibly from where your past life is at. This is the back. It's a linen finish. There you can see the linen stuff right there. And the colors in here are really vibrant. They all use around, the same color scheme as well, or stick to the same color scheme. It's really bright. Shuffles like a dream. And how, if you're curious, how I would use this in a past life reading. Again, let's see. Let's do an example. We'll just pick this one. What is this? The sun. Okay, well, right away I can tell this was somewhere in Egypt, right? But just for shits and giggles, I'd pull that out as related to where you may be from. And then here I'd use the book, and look, it says Egypt. So I would say, well, one of your past lives was in Egypt, right? That would be your main card. And then I'd go fully into your past life. Does that make sense? But that's how I like using this deck for past life readings. Next, we have the Good Tarot. And this is the book. It's a black and white. Does not have reversals in here, in case you guys were wondering. These are the backs, pretty simple. And they're oracle size, so they're a bit hard to like hold on to. But I'm a fan of the artwork here, only because it makes me think of like fantasy and another world. And I love those things. And there's freaking mermaids in here. Like, what the heck? I love mermaids. It also gives me like dream vibes. I think this would be really good with dream readings too. It's a glossy deck, so it does make it a bit hard to shuffle. Next is one of my OGs, which is the Radiant Wise Tarot. It pretty much has the OG artwork, I guess, just slightly changed. This is the guidebook. I mean, technically it's colored. There's like some gold in there, but there's no pictures. It's a glossy deck. The cardstock is really sturdy. These are the backs, which I'm not a fan of. I feel like it's too cluttered, even though it's the same design. And I like the color palette used here. It's not in your face. It's not super bland, at least not for me. It's kind of like chill color tones or color palette. And of course, because it's an OG RWS, highly recommend this deck for beginners. Next we have the Psychic Tarot, which I guess you would call a tarorical. Did I say that right? And that's why I'm including it in this collection. I purposely put the chakras, or took them out, because I'm not familiar with the chakra system, so I don't want to put them within the deck when I do readings yet, until I like learn and read up on the chakra system. It's a black and white book. These are the backs. And again, because it's a tarorical, it pretty much reads like an oracle, and I guess it can read like a tarot deck too. Except you only have 65 cards in here. But you have your number, key phrase on the bottom. Each suit, as well as the major arcana, have their own border color. The black ones are the major arcanas. But yeah, this is a pretty much direct deck as well. But again, it's a mixture of tarot and oracle. A tarorical. I have two of these, by the way. I have this one, and then I have the, what is the other one called? This one is the Psychic Tarot. The other one that I have is called the Psychic Tarot for the Heart, which is right here. And I think this one also has the chakra cards, which I think I took out. No, I haven't. I haven't yet. Comes with a big ass book, black and white. And again, another tarorical. I think it's the same color scheme, so the black ones are the major arcana. Oh, see, it does have chakra stuff, so I still have to take these out. So it reads like an oracle, but also kind of like a tarot, which is why I'm including it here as well. And I think this one also has 65 cards in it. Next we have Tarot of the Sexual Magic. That's totally Mulder and Scully. No, I'm just playing. Kind of, it looked like them a little bit. Comes with your typical white book. And these are the backs. I need to edge this one in red, of course. And of course, there's gonna be nudity in here. So it's a very, like it said, Tarot of the Sexual Magic. It's a very sexual deck with the images, stuff like that. I use this mainly for like love or relationship readings. Oh, hello. So it's just very in your face with sex. See, when I tell you, avert your eyes, children. Too late. Too late. Next we have the Trick or Tarot. This box is velvety soft. Mine came damaged, by the way. It had that nasty dent there, but the cards thankfully are not damaged. Comes with this little white book. These are the backs. and it's essentially a full imaged, or the image covers the whole card because it's even behind the border here that looks like a gate. Big Halloween vibes, of course, which I love. I'm the type of person who, if a deck has like a Halloween theme, like it doesn't matter what time of year, I'm gonna use it, so. But yeah. Next is the Fae and the Ferns Tarot. And this one doesn't come with the white book, but it does come with these info cards here for the major and the minor arcana. These are the backs. My one issue with this deck when I first got it was the corners here just aren't even. So you can see there. And then there's like a weird line. See this line that goes across all of the cards? So that might be like a printing issue or something. But aside from that, these cards are really pretty. It's holographic. It's kind of, I would say it's partially Pippish, but I also don't think that it is beginner friendly, only because there's some cards in here that even confused me. Like some of the court cards, for example, I think it's the Queen of Swords, has like 4 or 5 swords going through the queen, and I just got confused at that personally. Like if I see 4 or 5 swords, I'm gonna think, all right, that's the 4 of swords or the 5 of swords, something like that. So that's the only reason why I wouldn't see it as a, well, here's an example. The Knight of Cups. You have the Knight, obviously, but you have 4 cups there. So me, I don't know about you guys, but me personally, the first thing that I noticed is like, oh, there's 4 cups. So is this the 4 of cups? You know what I mean? So something like that. That's the only reason why I wouldn't dub this as a beginner deck. And also one of my issues with the deck. But other than that, it's a really pretty deck. It reads decently, but again, it's just those bit of cards there that kind of confuse me sometimes. Next is the Animal Tarot cards. This copy has Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I don't know if they're gonna make another one where it's just Radley Valentine. Not sure. Comes with the big book. It's black and white. These are the backs. It's not reversible, but it's one of those cards, again, that have like keywords on here and a key phrase on the bottom. Then you have your image here as well. These suits are spring, autumn, winter, and summer. And they're also all color coded. So again, one of those decks that I would use, just like that Angel deck that I showed you earlier, where I wouldn't use this deck entirely for a whole reading. I would use it to pull like maybe 1 or 2 cards, or even use it as like a clarifier, if that makes any sense. So really good for clarifiers, I think. Next is the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. Oh, where is the, oh, here it is. Is this by US Games? Of course, because there's no like thumb thingy right there. Oh, this one does have a little white book, but it also has the info cards for the major and minor arcana. I noticed that the little white book is smaller than what we're used to. Like the other ones are just a little bit taller, but these are the backs, plain and simple. And this deck is all about fantasy creatures, pretty much, which is what drew me to the deck in the first place, because I love things about fantasy mythology, the paranormal, angels, demons, everything. Everything within those categories. And the borders, I think, are really cool as well, these. I'm kind of hoping that they blew up the image just a little bit to go more, to like have less of this white border here. Or maybe even if the border was a black one, I think that would look cool too. Unless you're familiar with mythological or fantasy creatures, I don't think this would be a beginner-friendly deck. It's just it's a little hard for me to read too. But I use it more for the creatures, like the energy of the fantasy creatures. Next is the Crow Tarot by US Games as well. See, this cardstock I like, and it smells good too. Here's the book. Doesn't have the images. It just has the names and then info on the cards. These are a little bit bigger than your normal tarot size. And I like that each of the cards also have like their own color to it. And just like the title, it's all about crows. But it is an RWS clone, so it's fairly easy to read. Highly recommend it for beginners. And it's also under $20. I think it's still about $15 on Amazon. And for the cardstock quality, even the quality of the book and the box, I think it's a fairly good price. So yeah, really simple to use, easy to read, and it's an animal deck. Next is another US Games deck, which is Spirit Song Tarot. So it's the same cardstock. Here's the book. It's black and white. In this one, the suits changed. They have acorns, shells, crystals, and feathers. But look, even the borders on the cards are different, which again, I like. I think that looks cool and adds to the cards too. The artwork is really soft and calming, if that makes any sense. It's really detailed too. You can clearly tell they're watercolor. But I can't tell if it was made digitally or if it was actually like watercolor on actual paper. But still, I personally like this artwork. It's really, I don't know, it just feels calming. Hey, there's the little guy on the cover. I typically use this for the keywords here. Most of the minors have 2 keywords on the bottom, and the minor arcanas also have the elemental symbol on the bottom too. The major arcanas do not. Here we go. So major arcanas don't have their elemental symbol. They do still have keywords though on the bottom. I'm not sure I would recommend this as a beginner friendly deck just because, one, the suits are changed. The keywords might throw a beginner off, but then it might help a beginner as well. The images, it's also a full animal deck. I know there's some people who have trouble reading with animal decks or understanding animal energy, the symbolism of each animal as well. So that's also just some reasons why I wouldn't recommend it for a beginner, but it's still a very lovely deck. Next we have the Halloween Magic Tarot. Where does this open? Right here. Ooh, this box is hard to open. There we go. It came with a yes and no tarot coin. I had ordered this deck in October, so around Halloween season, so that's why the creator sent the yes or no tarot coin. It was kind of like a special they had going on. This is the book. It's a black and white. These are the backs. It's a glossy finish. It's gilded silver. And the cardstock is fairly sturdy as well. The artwork is pretty interesting, not gonna lie. Some of them are also kind of like have this, what is it? What's the word? Comedic feel to it, if that makes sense. Some of them. I mean, that's what I got off of it. I don't think this is beginner friendly, but it's just, I don't know, it's a really interesting deck. Look at this, look at this Hierophant. Weed all over the place. I will say I'm not a fan of the, what is this? Like the titles here. I kind of wish they just had like the name of the card and maybe the number up top, or I don't know. I'm not a fan of the titles. Or maybe it's the text. It could just be the text. Maybe if the text was different or smaller, I'm not sure. But this deck is pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Look at the strength card. Whoa. The fuck? There's another. What? She got 2 heads. The heck? Yeah. But that is the magic. What is it? The Halloween Magic Tarot. Next is Angel Tarot Cards by Radley Valentine. This is another one of those decks that have keywords and key phrases on them. It's a black and white book. So again, I just use like 1 or 2 cards in readings. I don't use it entirely for a full reading. These are the backs. It's she thick. All right, it's a thick ass deck as well. So you have your tarot associated card up top, the name of the angel, and then key phrase down here. And they all have their own color coding for the suits as well as the major arcana. Here I think these suits are per the element, so water would be cups. I think major arcanas are this indigo color here. This one earth, so that would be pentacles. The red ones I'm guessing are fire, which are wands. And what other one are we missing? We're missing swords, no? Where are the swords? We have earth, fire, water. Where be the swords? Here it is. Wait, is this the same color as the majors? Well, yeah, kinda. Okay, so the swords would be air. But yeah, that's this deck. Okay, are you guys still with me? I think we're like halfway done. So this is the next one. This is, I love this bag. It's so roomy. This is the Adventurers Tarot, the Empress deck. This was actually made to assist in D&D games, Dungeons and Dragons, but it can also be used as a tarot deck. There's just some of the depictions. You have presumably your right side up and your reversed meaning too. But based on the guidebook, it kind of seems like it's just major arcana. But again, you can use this however which way you want to. And there's 103 cards in here. These are the backs. This has this pretty gold foil. Oh, my cat's crying. 1 second. All right, so this was initially made for D&D, obviously, but the creator also tried to create it to kind of help with tarot or work with the tarot system in a way. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but that's why I'm including it with my tarot collection video, because it's technically, but not technically, a tarot deck. Kind of like the tarot oracles, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean? So this is why I included this one. But it's 103 cards. A lot of them are kind of duplicates, but have different color schemes or color codings. I do have a flip through on this video, so if you want to look at that to know what I'm talking about. But I like that, like they all have that gold detail in there. And the cards feel really nice too. It's a nice matte finish. And it's just really good quality as well. And there's freaking 103 cards that you can use with your readings. I would typically use this in a reading to like tell a story or as a clarifier. Mainly to tell a story though, because in D&D you would use this as like character creation, right? Creating your character story as well. So that is the Adventurer's Tarot, the Empress deck. The next deck is Universal Fantasy Tarot. And it comes with your typical white book. This deck, for some reason, like I said in my flip through for it, it makes me think of home, or it makes me feel like this is what home looked like or used to be, for me personally. It's one of those that have the artwork covers the entire deck, of course, minus the titles here. And the way the art is done here, it's, I don't know, something about the movement within the art just makes me think of like muscles, like the, you know, like human muscles or whatever, animal muscles too. I guess muscles in general. It's just the way the clothing looks too. It just looks alive. Does that make sense? It's really like, look at this. I just think of muscles, like all of this. Muscles, veins, arteries. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Even like those flowers. It just feels like the petals look as if they're, what's the word? Palpitating. Like they're, I don't know, like they have their own heartbeat, something. It's hard to explain. I hope some of y'all know what I mean, but it's not, I mean, it is technically an RWS clone, but I think because of the artwork that's in here, it'll prove to be difficult to a beginner, so I wouldn't call this a beginner-friendly deck. But if you're familiar with the tarot, then probably intermediate to expert level. Look at this Lover's card. Look at the movement in here. Doesn't this looks like they're kind of like fusing or something. Isn't that cool? All right, enough yabbering about this deck. Next is the Deviant Moon Tarot. This is the borderless edition. Again, it doesn't have one of those thumb thingies, so you can see kind of causing a dent in the box. Comes with your typical white book. This is the back. I feel like these are a little bit longer than your regular tarot size. And again, the artwork takes up the whole card, which I love. This is one of my favorite decks. I don't have the book, that big book, the hardcover book. I really wish I did. I'd love to have that. It's on my wish list as of right now while I'm filming. But this deck, oh, this is the only figure in the entire deck that doesn't look like everybody else, and that's the Death card. Oh wait, not the Death card. This is this Death? No. What is this? Two of Cups. This is Two of Cups. I thought of Death because of the skull face. But this is the only person or figure that doesn't look like everybody else. Isn't that cool? But yeah, the artwork is really interesting. I immediately fell in love with it when I saw it. I was like, I need it. And it gives very direct readings as well. I use it in my Well, I kind of use it on the daily, actually. I don't just use this deck for like shadow work. I know some people, a lot of people use it just for that. This is kind of like an all-around deck for me. It's also really good to use when speaking with loved ones, when I do my client readings or my tarot with the dead videos. But yeah, I like it. It's one of those decks that'll call you on your shit if you need it to. Next is Tarot of the Magical Forest. Again, another animal deck with these cute, curious looking animals. Comes with your typical white book. These are the backs. And this is an RWS clone, so it's fairly easy to read. Recommended for beginners. Even if you're not into animals, I still think this is a fairly direct deck to use. Oops. Who flipped out? Who was this? King of Chalices. And the suits, pentacles are foxes, wands are frogs, cats are swords, and who are the cups? I think bunnies are cups. Let me see if I can find, oh, look at the strength card. How cute is that? Pretty sure, here we go. So bunnies are cups. So fairly easy to use and to read with deck. It's one of those all-around decks. Next is Tarot of Haunted House. See, this is what the other boxes need. This like thumb area there. US Games, get on it. Comes with your white book. These are the backs. And this also has the artwork that takes up the whole card, which is very nice. Very simple titles on the bottom, like literally. This is Horse, Cup, Knight of Cups, 3 Cup, 3 of Cups, you know? It's just fairly simple. There's a shitload of rats right there, Jesus Christ. There are some images where you might be like, what does that mean? So in a way it is the RWS clone, but then in another way, because of the artwork used, it isn't. Does that make sense? So just due to that, see, like this is a 5 of Pentacles. Like, what are these, crab monsters? That's not what we're used to seeing with the 5 of Pentacles, right? So I feel like a beginner, it might throw a beginner off, is what I'm trying to say. But it is, I mean, it's a fairly direct, it gives direct readings. Look at this, 4 of Pentacles. And from the looks of it, it gives the story of the, I think that's a bride that's on the cover. At least it looks like it. We're going through their story. Next we have Tarot de la Nut, or Tarot de la Nut. I don't think it means nut, but here's the book. It's there's no pictures in it, it's just words. The cardstock is fairly sturdy. I edged mine in a deep purple. It kind of looks black here, but it's a deep purple. Just take my word for it. It's a glossy finish as well. And the artwork takes up pretty much the whole card, minus the title. Not beginner friendly, just because a lot of the images, for example here, 4 of Pentacles, where are the 4 Pentacles? You know what I mean? It's just a person that looks like they're sitting by a window. So just because of that alone, I don't think this is a beginner friendly deck. The images and artwork, or the photographs too. These kind of look like photographs, like digitalized photographs are really stunning. There's a freaking card in here that's clearly Elsa as well. So there's some people in here or characters that you'll recognize, which I think is pretty cool. But I don't reach for this deck much. See, this is, what was it? The Black Swan, I think it was. I have not seen that movie. Look at that strength card. Next is the This Might Hurt tarot deck. This is, I think this was one of my, I think this was my first indie deck purchase, which I found it on Instagram. It's a black and white book. That's how I found this deck, was on Instagram. It's a pretty hollow, ooh, not as bright, but you know, it's there. You kinda, yeah, there you go. It's a matte finish. The colors used in here are soft but vibrant at the same time. And it's fairly easy to read with too. So I do feel that this is also one of those decks, if you're a beginner, that you should go ahead and grab it. Grab it, snag it, whatever you want to call it. It gives very clear and concise readings, straight to the point. Look at this Judgment card. But yeah. This was my very first indie deck that I ever got. It started my journey towards purchasing and even knowing what indie decks are. Next we have the Legend of Zelda Tarot. This doesn't come with the book, but it's an RWS clone, so it's not going to be hard to understand. It's a linen finish. And it's all about Legend of Zelda. A lot of inclusion of a lot of the games. So if you're a fan of Legend of Zelda or a collector of Legend of Zelda stuff, I recommend getting this deck. The only thing that might confuse a beginner is the suits. So bottles are the cups. What else did they change? I think rubies are pentacles. The swords are still the swords. And I think the wands are still the wands, if we can find a wand. Yeah. So the wands and the swords stayed the same, but cups are bottles in this deck and rubies are pentacles in this deck. But other than that, it's pretty much an RWS clone. So it reads very well. And yeah, even though those two suits have been renamed, I would recommend this for a beginner. Next we have the Happy Tarot. And it comes with your typical white book. Oops. These are the backs. And it's all sunshines and lollipops. I mean, technically it is, like the artwork, but it still gives like direct to the point readings. Sometimes even harsh ones, to be honest. And it is an RWS clone. So a good deck for beginners. Also, I do recommend this if you have like one of your kids or teenager, young teen that wants to learn the tarot. This would be a nice and cute deck for them to start off with. The colors are really vibrant. And it's just a cute little deck. Not hard to read with at all. Next we have the Dark Mansion Tarot, which is currently my second favorite deck in my collection. It's a nice rose petal finish, black gilding. And I think this comes in 2 sizes. I got the normal tarot size. It's an RWS clone, so fairly easy to read with. It doesn't come with a book though. But again, because it's an RWS clone, it's not going to be that hard for you to understand or read with it. The colors are very vibrant as well. And it has that Tim Burton-y vibe, or like the artwork within Tim Burton's world, which I love. Next we have the Santa Muerte Tarot. This is probably one of the decks that I have that are like in my top 5, I think. Oh, I should do a video of the top 5. This is the book. No pictures, it just has text. These are the backs. And it is a glossy finish. Cardstock is really sturdy. And it's pretty much straight up Dia de los Muertos vibes, which I love. It's pretty much a big thing with my culture, right? With my Latinos, Hispanics, whatever you want to call yourselves. So that was like the main selling point for me to get this deck. It's like, oh my God, a deck for Dia de los Muertos. I love it. Next we have the Night Sun Tarot. I turned my ceiling light on, so it might be a little brighter. This is the back. This one, I don't know, this deck is kind of, I feel like I'm having a bit of trouble with connecting to it. Then again, I haven't used it as much as I should be. Maybe that's what it is though. But when I did use it, it gave direct readings for sure. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just like a stubborn energy that I get from it. The artwork is fairly dark, which I like. Kind of fairly digitalized as well, which I'm kind of like, eh. But still, the artwork looks pretty cool. This Eight of Swords. Next is the Healing Light Tarot. This one is interesting because I think all of the figures except like one angel are literally just shadows or shadow people, however you want to say it. It's, I guess, a black and white book. There's no images, just text. These are the backs. It's a glossy finish as well. But see, there's just shadows of people. Like, clearly we know they're people, right? But they're just shadows. Which is, you know, interesting. Look, even the animal's a shadow. You know what I mean? Oops. I guess this would be technically an RWS clone too. I don't think it would be that difficult for a beginner to read with. They kept all the suits the same as well. They didn't change that. I mean, I think one thing that might throw a beginner off is the fact like it's all shadows, or mainly shadow people or shadows of people. But other than that, like, it gets the point across, you know? Next is the Hush Tarot. I think this is by US Games. Yep, by US Games. So I love the cardstock. So it's a fairly small book. There's no pictures. It's just text. These are the backs. And again, with this artwork, it feels, it has like dark-ish vibes. Oh, I also like that all the cards have a different color too. Look at this moon card. It's not an RWS clone, you know, in the sense where like the OG artwork from RWS is not reflected in here. So that will likely throw a beginner off. So it's not beginner friendly for sure. But the artwork alone, like, I feel like this is one of those good decks that you can read intuitively too, just because of all the info that the art gives you, or even the emotions that the art gives you. Do you know what I mean? Next is Tarot of the Sweet Twilight. Comes with your little white book. And these are the backs, super vibrant. I wish they had a borderless edition with this deck. That'd be so cool. I'd buy it. The colors are something else. The color palette used in here, it's a lot of orangey blue teal tones around that family of colors. Even like the people, they have green skin, they got blue skin, they have gray skin. And it very much gives me Salvador Dali vibes, mixed sort of with Tim Burton style. Is that an orangutan or a regular monkey? I didn't notice that last time. Look at them bell bottoms. Oh, but as far as like, I don't think this would be beginner friendly. Probably intermediate. I think it's funny how I'm just rating all of them right now during this video. Is this beginner? Is this intermediate? Is it expert? Next is Tarot or Tarot de la Santa Muerte, because this deck is in Spanish. It opens kind of awkwardly, like it opens like that. Slide these out. It did come with the guidebook, but it was really crappy and I threw it out. These are the backs. There's like this weird lamination going on. This honestly feels like it came from the 70s, to be perfectly honest. The suits are color coded, and the major arcana is all Santa Muerte. Like, it's all the Santa Muerte up in there. And like I said, it's a Spanish deck, so Rey de Bastos would be King of Wands, right? This deck is still in order. I have not used it yet. Rey de Oros would be King of Pentacles. Reina de Espadas, that would be Queen of Swords. So yeah, I don't know, this deck just, it feels old. Like, honestly, I think this deck came out of the 70s. Next is the Dark Grimoire Tarot. comes with your typical white book. These are the backs. And this one, hey, it's Molder. I keep seeing Molder in a lot of my decks. Yes, I liked the X-Files. This artwork though, it's disturbing and creepy, but in a cool way. It's also like it's telling its own story within this world, if that makes any sense. And a lot of the colors or the color palette used, it's all the same. It's a lot of browns, dark oranges, golds or soft yellows, some blues and grays in there, but I don't know, it's one of those creepy cool decks. Creepy cool. Next we have the Children of Litha Tarot, which is actually my #1. This is the book. It's a fairly thick book. It is colored. It is rose petal finish as well. It's a little bit smaller than your normal tarot size. The cardstock is fairly thick and sturdy. The colors are very vibrant. There's mythical creatures in here. There's animals as well. And I don't know, this is, I guess because it incorporates mythical and fantasy creatures and like human hybrids and creatures mixed together, and because it's also an animal deck, is why I fell in love with it. Also like the artwork. The art style is really beautiful. The colors in here, like I said, are vibrant and just popping. It's just really nice. Very nice. But yeah, this is my #1. Still holding true. Why did I turn the hangman upside down? Or right side up? Oh, look at this 5 of Cups. Poor Hammerhead. Next is the Weaver Tarot. This is, oh, here's the guidebook. So black and white. What was I gonna say? Oh, this is like pretty much an all black deck, which I like, with hollow details, which is so pretty. And the artwork or images, the way they design this deck is very simplified. Like it's not, I don't think you would call it a pip deck because you have enough symbols in there. Instead of just like, well here for example, 9 of Wands. It's not just the 9 Wands, right? You have the key there. You have, I think that's a crystal. You have wings. I think that's like a 3-leaf clover behind there. There's just more stuff in here than what your normal pip deck would look like. So it's a pretty interesting deck. It's not beginner friendly, I'll say that though. Unless you like simplified artwork, then yeah, go for it. I'm trying to catch the hollow. That's one thing that I kind of didn't like, was the hollow wasn't as strong as I wished it to be. You know, but other than that, I do like the deck a lot. And I am trying to save up to get their other deck, the very same one, but like the whole card is holographic. And the foil here is actually gold foiled. I'm trying to save up to get that deck. Next we have the Epic Tarot, which I think is the same artist from, what was that other deck called? I think it was, oh, I forgot what it was called. The Fantasy Tarot or something like that. This is the back. Because the artwork looks similar. Like if you look at the clothing. I think they might have made this deck first and then the other deck. Whoa. And in this deck, all of the pages, I think, are unicorns. The court cards are a bit confusing in this deck, not gonna lie. Or actually, a lot of this deck is confusing. So, not beginner friendly. And there's no names either. It's just the numbers, which can also make it a bit hard for people to remember what card that is. At least for the majors, like here, the minors, you have your sword, 6, so 6 of swords. You don't see 6 swords here, but that's the 6 of swords, you know? These would be the pentacles. This is clearly the lovers, right? Right. It doesn't say lovers, but I mean, it looks like the lovers. So, oh, here, Griffins, I don't remember. I think these are the knights. That's why I have trouble with this deck. Because a lot of the, oh, look at this chariot. A lot of the cards have been changed. Like the court cards were changed. There's no titles in the major arcanas, which for me personally is just a bit difficult to remember the numbers. Like, I'm more visual. I'm not gonna remember the numbers. I'm gonna remember the images and like the title, but the numbers for the majors, I'm not gonna remember that. That's just how I am. You know what I mean, jelly beans? Next is the Gothic Tarot, which is actually my very first tarot deck. Look how beat up the box is. Oh no, it's breaking. It comes with a little white book. And I edged mine. It's a little bit bigger than your normal tarot size. This is the back. And this deck is actually like part Pippish, part not Pippish, which I didn't know at the time, obviously, when I first got it, when I first wanted to learn tarot. I didn't really know what a Pip deck was at that time. I do now, but which I think is also why I stopped trying to learn, because like I didn't get a lot of information out of like, you know, this. Me, back in the day, I'm like, this is just 3 cups. What is this supposed to mean? Now I know what 3 of cups means, right? But not a very good deck for a beginner. But I'm all about like Gothic style, Gothic clothing, you know, things like that. Things of that nature I'm all about. The dark and mysterious. Yeah. So this was my very first tarot deck. Confused the heck out of me. Look at this 5 of swords. That's creepy. Oh, shit. What is this? 2 of pentacles? See, I'm like, what am I? Me, younger me, would be like, what does this mean? Older me now, I know what it means though. I know what it means. All right, well, this was, I think, the last deck that I had. Here, let me check, let me count them. All right, so I counted them. So you guys sat through 67 tarot decks. That's my current 2020 collection, 67 tarot decks. Congratulations, guys, if you made it this far with me. If you did make it this far to the video, please comment down below the rose emoji. I think there's 2 rose emojis, so either or. Comment down the rose emoji. That way I'll know that you stuck this long in the video with me, which I very much appreciate it. If you guys have any questions for me, as usual, leave them in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and share it, because it does help me out. And subscribe if you haven't already. All right? I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!